Target has announced that Brian Cornell is stepping down as the CEO of the retail giant after 11 years, and the value of the stock plummeting. It's down, I think, 61% since its all-time high, but its all-time high was COVID, when the government said, you can only shop at Target. It's the only safe place. That and Home Depot, the only safe place on the planet. So, of course, they went through the roof then, and they're down. But they're down, 28% since the start of the year. Not real good. Now, of course, everybody on the right is saying, that's because they were involved with DEI. And then everybody on the left is like, that's because they got rid of DEI. Oh, well, you can't have both. You can't have both. So I don't know what it is. All I know is, when did they start doing that DEI thing? Around 2022? Something like that?
I feel like that's when it at least became a story. It was right around 2022, 2023. They may have been doing it before then.
And I know that I talked to women. I talked to my wife, and she was like, no, Target is the only place I can go and get everything in one stop. I don't care if the cashier is Beelzebub. Gotta be $41.95. I mean, it was like, you couldn't get people to stop going to Target. Now I don't know why. What has happened? What's happened? I mean, I don't shop at Target, so I don't know. Have you heard your wife all of a sudden saying, Target really kind of sucks right now?
No.
I found it a lot easier to go to 7 different stores.
I think you're right in that we tend to just tie every news story to the thing we've been talking about. That's something that everybody seems to do, and they're managing hundreds of millions and billions of dollars of merchandise over thousands of stores. Like, they're probably more than just whether they had a rainbow shirt or not. It's probably bigger than that. I mean,
I would love for that to be true. I just don't want to, dance on the grave unless I know that's true. I don't know if that's true.
Right. Because if you look at I'm looking at their stock chart right now. Yes, it peaked in 2021. That was, I feel like 2023 maybe it was. There was a fall after that, but it rose back up through 2024.
Right.
It just kind of like crashed after 2025. Now that might have been weak holiday sales. Like, I don't know. I don't follow it on a day-to-day basis to know exactly
when did they get rid of DEI? Because maybe the last time the crash came because everybody on the right was like, I'm not going to shop there, and that lasted a couple of months, and then their stock rebounded. But now maybe, when did they get rid of DEI? Because maybe they got rid of DEI, and now everybody on the left is like, I'm not going to shop there, and everybody will forget about it, and they go shop there. But maybe that was just too much of a fall for them to take.
I'm looking for the date here.
This is why you just don't get involved in politics. Politics change all the time. Anybody who's looking at the, celebratory numbers of the Democrats right now and how they are just imploding, be careful, because it's going to come back around. It always does. I remember, 2008, Barack Obama and everybody else was like, the Republicans will never win ever again. The Republicans are so out of touch. They will never, ever, ever win. Well, look at it now. It just comes back. So now I don't know if it's going to. The Republicans, I don't think ever did the damage that the Democrats are doing to themselves right now. Holding press conferences with burning cars. This is mostly peaceful, and then shootouts behind them and crime on the streets. Great. I don't know anybody who's done that kind of damage. And that's the damage that they're doing right now. Oh, and they're actually saying this. It's a mostly peaceful protest behind me. Pay no attention to the cars or the bullets because it's very, very safe out here. What we care about is redistricting, because we know that's exactly where the people are, redistricting. Now, guess again.
So this is interesting, guys. So it was 2023 was the conservative pushback on all of the kind of craziness going on at Target. And that did seem to lead to a dip in the stock price, but it recovered.
Yeah.
2020. So there was a new boycott by the left, a 40-day boycott that they started in March, it looks like. to try, because they were upset that they got rid of the DEI. This is your summary of this is so apt, because it's just like, don't get involved in this stuff. Just freaking sell things.
Just stay out.
Just make stuff and sell it.
Just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Because it is hard. I see. We've had so many of these controversies over the years, and you do see how hard it must be as a company to deal with this nonsense, because you get targeted. These things happen to you, and if you're not an ideological company that has a belief in something, and you're just kind of floating out there and being like trying to react to whatever way the wind is blowing, it's got to be really hard to manage. It's not easy to do. That being said, that's why you don't get into it, right? Like, you got to know that. You're an American company. You reflect American values, what your consumers want, and then you leave it. Keep it nice and simple after that. You don't need to make.
Just know who you are. You know what? Nobody is popular. Nobody. Have you ever known anybody that everybody really kind of liked after a while? If once you figure out, oh man, they don't believe any of that crap. They're just doing that to be in the cool kid camp. Those people never last. Those people are not cool. The people who are cool, who know who they are. I've said this a million times. I think the sexiest thing a woman can do is just know who she is. Know absolutely who she is, and doesn't care. Doesn't care about what anybody else thinks. This is what I am. Yeah, I'm a mom. I'm a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. If that's what she is, great. I find that very attractive. I'm not hitting on stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean. But Nobody likes somebody who is just going with the wind. You're a weasel. You're a kiss butt. That's all you are. Anyway, did you see the thing on Cracker Barrel as well while we're here on companies?
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel
changing their logo?
Cracker Barrel has changed their logo. And did they really? They got rid of the guy sitting next to the Cracker Barrel. But other than that, it's the same logo. I'm pretty sure, I wouldn't have noticed a difference. I would have noticed the guy and the barrel gone. But if that was just there, I would have liked that. No, that's not a change. They augmented it some. They deleted some things in it. But oh my gosh, this is trending on social media like crazy. Everybody's like, they've sold out. They've sold out because they got rid of the barrel? Really? Seriously? There it is.
Yeah, it's a little different. Maybe the font's a little different. There's not much of a difference. Yeah, there's not much of a difference.
Yeah, but play the news report on this.
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers. We bring them together and once every other year, and the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant. So we're doing everything for our guests and our team members.
Okay, stop. This is a lie. This is a lie. I don't believe anybody. Customers, maybe the managers and people who are really, really deep into Cracker Barrel. But I don't believe any customer is ever like, I'm just going to ask the manager, when are you going to come up with a new logo? Because I want the T-shirt. Nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that. Okay, so I don't buy that at all. But you know what I think this is? You know why I think people are, maybe, if they are upset about the guy sitting next to the barrel, the Cracker Barrel. First of all, nobody knows what a Cracker Barrel is anymore. But the guy sitting next to a Cracker Barrel, I think that could be. Have you gone into a McDonald's lately? That's not McDonald's. It's just not McDonald's. I like it, but it's not McDonald's. And, with everything changing, I think there are some people, and Cracker Barrel is one of these things. It's nostalgic. It's meant to be nostalgic. Cracker Barrels weren't really around when I was a kid. So it's meant to be nostalgic, and the whole thing is nostalgia, and a lifestyle, an American lifestyle. And so with Cracker Barrel, I can see people getting upset and going, "Hey, wait a minute, wait. Let's not change this too. Can we just leave things alone for just a while? Because everything else in life is changing. And I do believe that maybe Cracker Barrel is in this carve out of leave it alone. Leave it alone. But everything else is becoming. Did you see what's the logo now that is it McDonald's that is just having the M on the side of the, I mean, it's very small. You seen that?
Yeah, a lot of I've seen that complaint around too, that there was a time where all the characters were all over the building and the colors were all over the building and it was this exciting, fun place for kids to go. And now it's just this sort of bland, minimalist.
But you know what that is? Not millennials, Z in particular, they do not like brands. They don't like corporate brands. That time is over. You remember when, it wasn't too long ago that if it was a brand, do you remember when the Ralph Lauren Polo Pony was little and then it became half of the shirt was the Polo Pony and you're like, okay, Ralph, slow down, calm down just a little bit. Logos were so overdone that now youth, they don't like that corporate thing. They don't like it. So I can see that for the youth, times are changing. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. We are living in a time that is as dramatic as it was when the car came in. The horse and buggy was gone. Electricity started. Refrigeration was there. That is the kind of change we're living in. And we're the ones who are like, I used to plow those fields by hand. And anybody who doesn't strap it to the back of a horse, they don't know what life is. That's who we are. Because everything is changing.